stories is done. Businesses is done. Let's talk about the topic for today for a minute, family. Now, like I said, topic of today's show is toxic female behavior or toxic femininity. It's how I like to call it, right? Because they like to say this toxic masculinity shit. Well, what about toxic femininity? That's a thing too, right? So check it out. This brother, I think it was the girl's birthday, or maybe the kid's birthday. On camera, he presents her. She's washing dishes. He presents her with a present. Now, she has to go through several layers of the box to actually get through a letter where he went and got a DNA test on the 3-year-old child that she said was his. He went and got a DNA test, and the test came back negative. So he is not this little girl's father, right? Now, the funny part is when he presented her with the information, and she unraveled everything. Finally, she got the information. She went from being happy, thinking it's a gift, to being like, oh shit, what's this? Rightfully so. But she still didn't come clean. She still wasn't like, because he was like, you cheated on me. And she said something that was key to me. Which made me want to do this show, because I think a lot of women do this shit, and we don't bring this shit to the table enough like we should. She said, but she's still your daughter. Huh? How's she still his daughter? No, he not. No, she not. Whatever nigga you fucked. Just because you picked this daddy don't mean he is the daddy. You see what I'm saying? So family, we need to realize in our community, being a black man who has had children out of wedlock, who has made mistakes, like admittingly have made mistakes and made decisions that have negatively impacted my family. Now, granted, I've never been a deadbeat. I've never not been there for my children, not one moment in this lifetime. Now, during the process, I've made mistakes. During the process, it was a maturing thing I had to go through, being so young when I started, but I've always been there. But throughout my time, throughout my process of being a father, being a black man who didn't have a father, who was attempting to raise his family after realizing that he may have went about it the wrong way, I've gotten a lot of shit. I've been a deadbeat. I've been a toxic man. I've been all this shit, right? And all I'm saying, family, is when it comes to the relationship game, when it comes to relating with one another, we got to call everybody to the table. And I personally think, my opinion, I don't give a fuck who gets upset about it, women are socialized to kind of get away with certain things, so they continue to do them, right? Getting pregnant and putting the baby on the man that you want to be the father is toxic behavior, and something should happen to you for it. Now, I don't mean like some physical harm. I'm not suggesting that at all. But jail time, a fine, any monies he's had to pay up until that point should be paid back to him. Like, that's toxic behavior, family. Like, we can't get around the fact that not only did that woman, not only is that man going to be negatively affected, because he spent years of his life, he spent time attempting to raise this child that he can't get back. He had to create a bond with a child that he is not the father of. Now, at the end of the video, the brother said by the end of the month, y'all both got to get out. Now, that was gangster right there. I don't know. I personally don't know how I would proceed with a relationship with a child that I'm finding out isn't mine after creating a bond. But he said both of y'all got to get the fuck out. And I don't knock the brother. Like, the kid ain't got nothing to do with it. But I mean, shit. That's a part of the game, man. The mother shouldn't have went about it this way. You see what I'm saying? So not only is this brother dealing with the fact that I thought I had a family, now I don't, right? The kid is being the opportunity to meet your real father, because what if he didn't get the test, family? What if he didn't get the test? What if he kept living life? What if he didn't find this shit out until she was 15, 16, 17, 18? Then what? Then how fucked up of a scenario that would have been? This mother would have robbed the real father of his opportunity. What if the real father is out in the world not having kids, thinking he can't have kids, thinking he's shooting blanks, thinking it wasn't in the universe, didn't set it up for him to have a baby or whatever the fuck, just to find out you got a kid walking around this whole time that you didn't know about? Like, what kind of fucked up shit is that, man? Women need to be called to the table for this kind of shit, right? That's a toxic behavior, in my opinion, right? So she fucking up the relationship between the daughter and the real dad. She's making this stepdaddy, don't even know he is stepdaddy, go through all this shit. Now he got to kind of unpack what's happened with his life because he spent all his time thinking he had a family and he don't. Like, who wins in a situation like that except for the mother's ego, right? Except for the mother and how she feel about shit, right? And that's one way that women are toxic in our society, and I want y'all opinion on that. Like, what should happen to a woman who puts a baby on a man and it turns out that he's not the father? Should she be able just to walk away from that shit? Fuck no, man. Fuck no. We don't get to walk away from nothing. You see what I'm saying? Because to me, this is a part of a list of toxic behaviors that a woman can exude, right? Because again, if I'm a man and I'm not paying money, if I don't have money for whatever reason, I'm considered a deadbeat, I'm considered a loser, all these different things, right? But we never step back and ask questions. Like, what kind of man was he when y'all was fucking around? Did he have a lot of money? Was he a nuttin' ass nigga that you just found attractive and wanted to have sex with? Wanted to fuck her for whatever reason? And now that there's a baby involved, you expect him to be somebody that he never was, right? We have situations where a woman will have a baby and all of a sudden she becomes judge and the jury. All of a sudden she creates the litmus test of what needs to happen before you can see your child. Well, I need you to have a job. I need you to have a stable house. I need you to have a stable car. Bitch, you ain't got a car and you live with your mama. So where's the litmus test for you? Why do you get to be nothing, right? Because look, me personally, I've never even heard the term deadbeat mom, deadbeat mother. Know why? That shit wasn't created for women. That shit was created for us. But I'm here to tell you, there are deadbeat women out here. Now, just because you and I think a lot of women get it fucked up. Just because your kid lives with you, this is a news flash, PSA for all my women out there. Just because your kid lives with you, don't mean you're doing a good job. Just because you provide food, and sometimes the food comes from the county, so it ain't even money you producing, right? Just because you provide food, don't mean you a good mom. How intellectual are you? Do you read with your kids? Do you make sure your kids understand social issues? Do you make sure your kids understand like the real relationship with their father? Do you talk shit about them? Do you talk shit about the dad in any capacity? Right? Right? Are you honest with your children about how you landed in the situation that you're in now? Are you, if you're a woman who had a baby because you wanted to keep him? If you're a woman who had a baby because you was upset with the man, because the man had another woman, and you said, fuck that, I'm going to use this to get back, because let's be honest, we are more physical beings than women. If women can whoop our ass, they would do it. A lot of times they would do it, but they can't. So they use a kid, they use their emotions, they use different shit to kind of get to us, right? But if you're a woman who've done any of the things that I just mentioned, you're probably toxic, right? Just because you live with your kid don't mean you're the best thing for him, right? Right? It's a two-way thing, family. The man should be there as much as he possibly can and provide money, provide time, provide insight, provide empathy, right? Nourish if necessary, because we're not natural nourishers, but if you have a kid and a woman's not around, you got to do what you got to do, right? You got to do all these things, but the woman is responsible for nourishing, but she's responsible for providing too. Unless you have an agreement where you have a man or a husband that's taking care of you and you're a home wife, boom, you a home wife. But that's not the case a lot of times. So if you got to go out there and work, you got to go out there and work. You need to be a provider. You need to be empathetic. You need to be all the shit that we need to be at times too, right? And there's a psychological part of this that I don't think we focus on enough. Like, again, just feeding your kids and sending them to school don't make you a good mom. And I am not going to look at a woman who does just that and say you're a horrible mother. I'm going to try to impart some wisdom, give some suggestions on different ways to create a child that has a higher and a more balanced intellect. But if you're not doing those things, you're not a bad person. However, if you coming at me, calling me a deadbeat, and I'm turning the camera back on you and see what the fuck you doing, well, hold on, man. That's not how it work. You feel me? I'm not going to let you call me all these names when under your tutelage, the child may be failing. Not just in school, but in life. How sociable is the child? Does he say please? Does he say thank you? Can he sit down? Can you make him sit down? Is he going to look me in my eye when he talk to me? Is he clean? Right? Is his fucking hair brushed? Right? Is his teeth brushed? Right? Are you there's a lot to this parenting thing, as we all know. And your kid just living in your house don't make you a good mom. I'm sorry. There's a lot more to it. If you speak negatively about the father, the same father that was the same dude when you opened your fucking legs, that's toxic, family. That's toxic, family. And women need to get called to the table too. Society at large does not call women to the table at all. Women, people will take care of women. You can have a woman living with her mom, but telling a man who work every day with a little apartment trying to get his shit together that he a deadbeat. When she don't even stand on her own 2 feet. When she can't even stand on her own 2 feet. She may have the system partially taking care of the child. Right? I'm not saying that we should demonize a woman that does those things, but we should make sure we call the shit to the table when she's ostracizing the man. When you talk to her about her baby daddy and all she got is negative things to say about him,